Great Britain, England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, etc. are obsessed with sandwiches. Certain parts of these areas are obsessed with sandwiches. Rich people and Americans do not understand the pop culture that surrounds the humble English British sandwich. Now, some of you might be wondering what's happened to his head. I've had an air transplant. I had an air transplant 3 days ago, so we're going to have to look past this and just concentrate on the sandwiches. Now, a sandwich in Britain, it fed soldiers during war, it fed people during Blitz, it's fed people through recessions, it fed school kids in the 60s, it feeds work people, it feeds builders. We've got builders tea, we've got builders breakfast sandwiches. It feeds everybody. And the most crazy thing about a breakfast sandwich, or a sandwich in general, is the fillings, especially in Northern England, especially in the 90s. And today's topic of conversation, other than sandwiches, is what epic things people in the 90s in Northern England used to put in the sandwiches. Spam fritter. Now, if you've not had a spam fritter, you have missed out. You immediately need to go to local supermarket. I got these from a supermarket that begins with M. I don't want to drop brands in a row. Supermarket that begin with M, I think they're like £2.50. You get 4 spam fritters. As a child, or somebody that were as a teenager, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, I lived in a part of Rotherham, council-led, council house. Didn't have lots of money. Mum and dad divorced when I was little, so my mum sort of brought me up on her own. And we sort of had to make do. I did a video recently, a short, about council sandwiches and what sort of things people used to put in the sandwiches during that time period. And this, what I'm going to make for you today, is outstanding. And again, if you weren't sort of living on the breadline, not poverty, but sort of on the breadline, and if you weren't from Northern England, you've probably not heard of this sort of concoction. But please, just once, go to the supermarket, buy all the ingredients and components of this sandwich, make it, and then come back to this video in a couple of days and tell me that you did not enjoy it. And sandwiches like this are often overlooked. Britain is well known across the globe, especially in America and Australia and Europe, the home of the full English breakfast, fish and chips, pie and pays, that sort of thing, shepherd's pie, cottage pie, etc, etc. But again, the sandwiches from the time period that I've just discussed, the wackier, the better. And again, some people think that this is just satire and that I've made this up. I kid you not. And people that are watching this from sort of Northern England will back me up in the comments, and please do. This sandwich that I'm going to make for you right now is a solid 10 out of 10. And if you're unfamiliar with spam fritters, a lot of chip shops in North England sell these. It's literally slice of spam in batter, and then it's froze. Straight in freezer. Absolutely stunning. It is so good. Just a bit of salt and vinegar on that. That's all that you need. Now, in the 90s, as a lot of you may remember, times were very difficult for a lot of people, especially in England. And again, I keep mentioning the North because I'm Northern. But a lot of our food is sort of, it was the cheap ends of the frozen food. When the likes of Iceland and Quick Save, when Aldi first started to come out, Netto, various other sort of like frozen food shops become popular because they provided cheap food that were easy just to buy. Chicken burgers, Bernard Matthews, turkey drummers, turkey twizzlers, Finder's crispy pancakes, sort of ready meals, microwave meals, microchips. A lot of people remember microchips back in the day, that sort of thing. They were easy to buy, cheap to buy, stick them in freezer, no use by date, food lasted forever. And this is sort of like where these sandwiches come from. When I'd come home from school and I'd want something, quite quick, as a 14-year-old child, 15-year-old child, I was able to switch oven on and put them in oven for 20 minutes, long before air fryers and that sort of thing. You just stick oven on, put them in, get some bread, get all other ingredients that were in cupboard left over or in fridge, and you'd make a sandwich, and then, that'd be your tea. You'd sit and eat your tea, you'd then watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Crystal Maze with Richard O'Brien, and then on a Sunday, you'd have to go to bed after you've been framed an heartbeat. You'd be sent to bed then, ready for school on Monday. So these sandwiches for me personally are a piece of nostalgia, as well as tasting fantastically good. And I hope that this video, for those of you that do stick around and watch to the end, I hope that it brings back a little bit in it, like nostalgia for you as well. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you drop us a subscribe and click that notification button, because I would love it. Now, I'm actually really excited to share this sandwich with our YouTube community. So I've got us buttered bread cake, and yes, that is a bread cake, ladies and gentlemen. Some grated cheddar cheese, because believe it or not, in the year 2000, whilst I was obsessing over Rachel, Stephen and Push Pops, cheese weren't that expensive. Must have ingredient on every single pre-millennium sandwich in this country were bird's eye potato waffles. I think you used to get a pack of 24 for about 11 pence or something silly. So we've got a couple of potato waffles, well done. So possibly one of the most important parts of any British meal circa 98 to like 2002 is baked beans. We all know from my videos I'm a big fan of baked beans, purely because they taste fantastic. Back in them days, I think you could get a tin of baked beans for about 6 pence in Netto. They are an integral part and a bulker of British classic nostalgic sandwiches. We're nowhere near done yet. We've got as spam fritters. So again, because back in the day, spam was a very, very cheap meat. Not like it is today. It's one of the, in our shop, it's one of the pound for pound most expensive items that we physically buy in to sell. So we've got a couple of a spam fritters. Last ingredient, obviously an egg. Back in the day, they were super cheap. And this sandwich benefit, you know, spam and egg, it's just a combination that works in every aspect of the word. Yep, ketchup. You had to, as a kid, as a 14, 15-year-old, back in the day, you had to have ketchup on everything. Mayonnaise. I didn't have mayonnaise in my house until I started paying my mum board money. When I started working, my first job at 16-year-old, I think I had to pay 20 quid a week board, something about that. But that is the fantastic sandwich. So I'm going to get that cut in half. I'm going to show you a cross section. And then I'm going to enjoy rewinding this end back to 2002. Hit me baby one more time. Cross section. Oh, check out that Orinoco flow. Look at that. Let's give it a bite. Come on, let's stop messing about now. Are you ready? Oh, I am ready. Jonathan Davis, I am ready for this. I am excited for this. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. Just feel sorry for me for what I've had to put myself through just to get a bit of air. So yeah, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. I hope it's took you down memory lane, a trip down memory lane. Here we go. Oh. Oh. All I need now is my Tamagotchi, my rollerblades, a bottle of Panda Pop, and a drifter. That's all I need, a drifter. Then I'm happy as Larry. Thank you for watching. Perks, final thoughts. I always like to end my video with final thoughts, something that's just in my brain that I feel as though I need to verbally get off my chest. I don't like looking at myself with looking like this. Look at bruising there. Oof. Anyway, final thoughts. Does anyone, as a kid, going back on the nostalgia thing, remember Tasmanian Devil that used to be on like Channel 3, ITV or whatever it was, CBBC, whatever. It used to be, well anyway, do you remember they released chocolate bar, Freddo's? They did a Tasmanian Devil chocolate bar. I think it was called a Taz, and it had caramel in the centre. See you later.